Good morning, students. So welcome to the next online perio class. So now we've been discussing about periodontal plastic surgery. So last video was regarding gummy smile and the treatment of gummy smile. Today's video is about another common problem that is seen in the aesthetic zone, and that is recession. First, I'll tell you what is recession. What is recession? Recession is basically the exposure of the root surface of the tooth because of the apical shift in the position of the gingiva. Okay, so it looks something like this. You see there is an apical shift in the position of gingiva because of which the root surface of the tooth is visible. So that is the definition of recession. So it's a very simple concept to understand if you've understood the image. Now there are two classifications of recession which are most commonly used. One is by Sullivan and Atkin in 1960 and the other is by Miller. So the Sullivan and Atkin classification is very simple. Okay, these diagrams will help you understand them better. The Sullivan and Atkins classification is shallow narrow, shallow wide, deep narrow and deep wide. Okay, so that was the Sullivan and Atkins classification. The next classification that was given by Miller, there are modifications to this classification also. So the classification given by Miller is, you can see this image, marginal tissue recession that does not extend up to the mucogingival junction. There is recession, but the recession has not extended up to the mucogingival junction, plus interdentally you will see that there is no bone loss and no soft tissue loss. Okay, that was class 1. Class 2 is marginal tissue recession that has exceeded beyond the mucogingival junction. Okay, but there is no soft tissue loss or bone loss in the interdental area. Class 3 is marginal tissue recession that has extended beyond the mucogingival junction, plus there is interdental soft tissue loss and bone loss. Class 4 is when the recession has extended beyond the mucogingival junction, plus there is severe malpositioning of tooth and severe bone loss and interdental soft tissue loss. Okay, so these images will help you understand better. Class 1, recession has not extended up to the mucogingival junction. Class 2, it has extended up to the mucogingival junction. Class 3, extended up to the mucogingival junction plus soft tissue loss and bone loss. Class 4, extended beyond the mucogingival junction plus there is severe soft tissue loss and bone loss interdentally, or there is severe malpositioning of the tooth. Okay, so I told you what is recession and I told you the two classifications of recession. Now, how will you treat recession? Okay, so for the treatment of recession, the treatment I can explain to you in different categories. Okay, so one is your pedicle graft, the other is free soft tissue graft, the other is GTR. So let's get, so on my model I'll show you the procedures one by one. So I told you about pedicle graft. The first type in that is the lateral pedicle graft, and this was given by Reuben Warren in 1956. Okay, so what is the lateral pedicle graft? So this is my model, and this is the tooth which is having recession. Okay, and the root is exposed. So how will I do a lateral pedicle graft? Lateral pedicle graft means from the adjacent tooth. Okay, so either from this tooth or this tooth. Now this much is the width required. So what do? I consider that much width and I have to check if this gingiva is of thick biotype, if there is sufficient width of attached gingiva. Okay, once all those conditions are met with and you have decided this is the area that you are going to take, first what do? Give local anesthesia. After that, see, this is the area that requires the graft. So you will slightly peel off the epithelial surface. Okay, you will slightly peel off the epithelial surface over here. Okay, and expose the connective tissue in this area. So once the connective tissue is exposed, it will be better, it will take up the graft better, so that the blood supply and all those problems are dealt with. Okay, so how much ever width you need, that much you will cut over here. Okay, and you will reflect. So let us say that you have cut the required width. Okay, and then you will reflect it. You will either take a partial thickness flap or a full thickness flap. They say a full partial thickness flap is better. Okay, you will take that, and it is difficult to cut this straight and then place it over here, and hence you will also give a cut back incision like this. Once you give a cut back incision and you have reflected a partial thickness flap, you will join this over here. Okay, I think it's more difficult to show you on the wax model than what I had imagined it to be. Yeah. Now, in case my demo with the wax model didn't help you to understand lateral pedicle graft, these are better images. Okay, so first step, the epithelial portion is removed, connective tissue is exposed, horizontal incision is placed, cut back incision is placed. It is partial thickness flap is reflected, sutured over the area of defect. Okay. Now another variant of this is the double papillae technique, in which it's like for the area of defect, half of the covering is from the adjacent tooth of one side and the other half is from the adjacent tooth of the other side. Okay, so this is your double papillae flap technique. With the help of pedicle grafts like these, about 60 to 70% coverage was possible. So this is one of the technique to correct the recession. So the next technique was given by Tarnow. It is a semilunar flap technique, where you place a semilunar incision in this manner, as you see in this image. The incision should end 2 to 3 mm above the tip of your papillae. Then you perform a split thickness dissection. This flap will collapse in the area of the defect. Hold it in place for a few minutes. There is no need to place any sutures or give any periodontal dressing, and this technique can be done only in the maxillary tooth. Okay, so I hope these diagrams will help you to understand how the semilunar flap technique is carried out. So another technique is the free gingival autograft. So for example, if you have a tooth with recession, like you see over here, the tooth with recession. Okay, so you are planning to take a graft from another site and place it over here. So what do? You will place vertical incisions and you will reflect this area. For example, you have placed vertical incisions. Okay, I have placed vertical incisions and I have reflected that area. Okay, and then from the palate, okay, make sure that you don't cut any greater palatine vessels. Okay, you will measure and you will remove the superficial epithelial layer and a portion of the connective tissue, such that the remaining connective tissue is there inside. Okay, so see this side everything is removed, epithelium, connective tissue, everything. So it's not like that. You will take a partial thickness graft where the epithelium and a portion of the connective tissue is removed. Okay, and you will place it over here in the area of the defect. Okay, trim the margins and place the original flap back and suture this area. So while taking the graft, you should be careful that the graft should not be too thick, because if it is too thick, then it is difficult for the blood vessels to enter all the sides and to vascularize the graft. If it is too thin, then it will get necrose. So ideally 1 to 1.5 mm thickness should be present of the graft that you take from another site. Okay, and then you're supposed to place it there and suture it back. If in case the wax model was not clear for you, these are the diagrams of the conventional free gingival autograft. So step number 1. Step number 2, when you are reflecting, then from the palate area you are obtaining the graft, placing it on the site and suturing it such that the recession is covered. So the next technique for the treatment of recession is subepithelial connective tissue graft, which is given by Langer and Langer. So I'll try to explain to you with my wax model. This is the area of the recession. Okay, so what you will do, you will place vertical incisions like this. Okay, denude it here like this and reflect the flap. Reflect the flap on either side. Okay. Okay. This is your bone. Okay. You have reflected it. Then from the palate over here, see, I have made a marking. Fine. This is the area from where you are planning to obtain the graft. So you will place incisions, and after you place the incision, you will reflect the flap like this. See, you have reflected it. So what I have reflected over here is only the epithelial surface. Okay, from below the epithelial surface I will obtain the connective tissue graft. Okay, the connective tissue is taken. This is then sutured back. After that, onto the area of the defect, the connective tissue graft is placed. Okay, and everything is sutured. Sutures are placed like this and it is waited till it heals. So the next is the pouch and tunnel technique. So what if you have like generalized recession on many tooth, then keeping the interdental papillae intact, the other areas, like you can see in this diagram, incisions are placed and full thickness is kind of dissected, and you are obtaining connective tissue graft from another side, and like just like how you see in this diagram, placing it within mattress sutures, and when it heals you have recession coverage obtained for a wide area. Okay, so these are the different techniques to correct gingival recession. The next technique is the GTR technique, which is also very simple. This is the area of recession, area of the defect. You will place vertical incisions, reflect the flap. Okay, once this is reflected, you will place the membrane, GTR membrane, guided tissue regeneration membrane. You place the membrane over here and place the tissue back, suture. After 4 weeks you will see that the area of the defect is healed. I'll place a white color paper so that you understand that that is the GTR membrane. So this is the way it will heal. Okay, so these were the techniques using the guided tissue regeneration membrane. So I hope you all have understood what is recession, what is the classification of recession and the different treatment options available, especially the